and I very much look forward to the discussion here with everyone today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I must first of all apologize because a few minutes before noon I will have to leave because of these back-to-back bilaterals in which I'm involved. But Selwyn will stay until the end, and I myself will stay until as close as possible to the end. And I want first of all to thank South Africa and the European Union and our co-chairs for the extraordinary work that in a very, very limited amount of time they were able to produce, and to say that we are totally committed to, in the context of all intergovernmental processes and in the context of initiatives we can take, to move forward with the aspects of your recommendations. Now, thank you to all of you for joining us today, and we are here to respond to a key challenge: turning energy transition towards justice. The renewables revolution is powering forward, and critical minerals are at its core. Last year, for the first time, the amount invested in grids and renewables overtook the amount spent on fossil fuels. Demand for the minerals critical to the transition are expected to surge as governments triple global renewables capacity by 2030, as promised, and phase out fossil fuels. For developing countries rich in those resources, there is a huge opportunity to generate prosperity, to eliminate poverty, and to drive sustainable development. But too often, this is not the case. Too often we see the mistakes of the past repeated in a stampede of greed that crushes the poor. We see a rush for resources with communities exploited, rights trampled, and environments trashed. We see developing countries ground down to the bottom of value chains as others grow wealthy on their resources. And the panel was established in response to the calls from developing countries for action. I thank all panel members for their work, and particularly the co-chairs, Nozifo, Joyce, Msakato Diseko, and Dita Jules Jorgensen. The report identifies 7 voluntary principles and 5 actionable recommendations to enable justice and equity across critical mineral value chains. These aim to empower communities, create accountability, and ensure that clean energy drives equitable and resilient growth. That includes advancing efforts to ensure maximum value is added in resources-rich developing countries. The United Nations system is coming together to help implement the panel's findings. We will work with member states and other stakeholders to establish the recommended high-level expert advisory group. This will accelerate action on key economic issues, including benefit sharing, value addition, and fair trade. Developing countries will be in the driving seat, and indigenous peoples, local communities, young people, civil society, industry, and trade unions will be at the table alongside governments. We'll also take forward the recommended global traceability, transparency, and accountability framework for the entire mineral value chain. This will help to drive responsible production, safeguarding human rights and the environment. I urge all leaders in government, industry, and civil society to join us, and I look forward to hearing from you today on your plans to implement the panel's findings. As demand for critical energy transition minerals surge, so must action. Together, let us turn the transition towards justice and equity. And I thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, for your opening remarks. Now we have